Back to Black Site tonight. We're going to talk about the NBA gambling scandal. It can destroy the NBA forever. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Three prominent NBA players, coaches were indicted by the federal government. And we know what they were indicted for, and that's gambling. Gambling is the key to sports. And when a league loses its integrity, that's when a league can go by the wayside. Remember, in the 1970s, the NBA had a gambling and drug problem. They came through it with Bird and Magic, Isaiah Thomas, then Michael Jordan. But this could be even bigger because I believe that Adam Silver, the person who I truly believe is at the fault of all the problems of the NBA. Here's a man who gave the NBA to the players after David Stern died and passed away. David Stern was a strong arm leader. He knew how to handle these players. He gave them boundaries and limitations. Adam Silver did. He let LeBron James and Clutch Sports and so many things go by the wayside when he should have put his hammer down to let these players know. Especially with this Terry Rozier thing, in which the NBA investigated him and basically gave him a pass and let him come back and play. The federal government indicted him, saw that he faked the injury, and basically gave those who were involved in betting ups that he was not going to play the whole game so they can make money off of his injury. We know about the Chauncey Billups thing, which is card games basically connected with the mob. And let me tell you something, once they get something on you, the mob, they will always come back and ask you to do a favor. And they ask possibly Chauncey Billups to do a favor. This is how you get involved in these things in professional sports. We saw Shante Porter. He was indicted and basically kicked out of the league. We see Gilbert Arenas, who was involved in poker games himself. But this is what the NBA has created itself by not having a strong arm leader. Like Shaq and Charles Barkley said, they said it clearly. We were taught never get involved in gambling or sports betting on games. Yes, we went to the poker table, we went to Vegas, but we didn't get involved in this. But this is what's going to happen because you let DraftKings, you let FanDuel, you let MGM, all of them into professional sports. You should have expected this to happen. But this all lays at the feet of Adam Silver because he has no control over his league. He is the nice guy. He is the player's commissioner. That's what he wanted to be. He didn't want to be the enemy. He didn't want to be the grown man in the room. And this is what happens when you don't have that person in the room. You have these problems right now that the NBA has. Now you have a problem with integrity of the game. Everything's time something happens in the NBA that fans don't like, they're going to say it was fixed. You got Damon Jones, who was one of LeBron's best friends, who had access to everything Lakers, telling friends about a Milwaukee Bucks game that LeBron was not going to play it, a game that Anthony Davis was not going to play it. So money streamed in on the Bucks, and the Bucks won the game. But this, to me, is just a small caption which may be going on. They said that Kevin Garnett was at one of the games in 2019, poker games. He was present at the game. So how many of these other players may have been involved that we don't know? The FBI, the task force that is investigating this, is still doing it. So this thing may not end as quickly as David Stern wants it to end. You know that an investigation leads to people flipping. Will Rozier say something? Will Damon Jones? Will he say something? Gilbert Arenas, Shante Porter? Who's going to say something? Will other names come out? And with LeBron James being linked, with Kevin Garnett now being linked, this is sad. Brian Windhorst did something on Clutch Sports saying that Adam Silver basically gave this man a pass, Terry Rozier. But when the FBI investigated it, when this task force that came together and investigated it, they saw it was criminal activity. So how much criminal activity is actually going on? How many of these mob figures who are involved are going to flip on these players and say, hey, we got a multitude of players who are involved in this. This scandal can actually destroy this league. Now, most people will say, well, this is a blip on a screen. Integrity of the game is what people watch the game for. We can't believe the score if we don't believe in the game. And that's the key to it. This is why Adam Silver has to flush this out. He has to let the FBI and this task force flush this out as soon as possible. Because Adam Silver's neck is on the line. When your league goes down, we're talking about $1 billion league that just signed a new contract over with NBC and ESPN. They got billions of dollars invested in this. And if people are not watching, not participating in this league, not thinking that the games are real, you don't have a league. It's over. So we'll see how this all comes out. But for Adam Silver, this is a nuclear bomb that just exploded in his lap. And we'll see how he handles it. We'll see how the owners handle Adam Silver. Because he should always know what's going on. It seems like he was surprised by the FBI arresting these former players and players in the league, this player in the league. He didn't know what was going on. And with the animosity it seems like they have towards this administration, but this investigation was started before this administration. So this has been going on for 4 or 5 years, them looking at this criminal activity. So we have to see how this all flushes out. And if it flushes out well for the NBA, they better hope there's not any more present players who are playing in the league involved in this, and especially high-profile players. Does the NBA have a gambling issue that they need to address, especially with the players? Because these players have been given free reign throughout the NBA with Adam Silver as commissioner. I hope you leave your comments in the comment section. I want you to learn what you got to say. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site. Hope you subscribe to this channel. Smash that like button, but also share this video.